Hello and welcome to Abstractus. Okay, today we take off from where we left last week. Just to recap, we were confronted with a blank canvas and the fright that gives you, the actor's stage fright. So basically I covered it in paint, ending up with this abstract looking painting. I already know where I want to go. I want to do another one of my rocks on this background. I have to get the rock, the drawing of the rock, onto this background as fast and easily as possible. Okay, what you see here on the painting is an actual stencil I cut out some time ago for one of my graffiti type of paintings. I remember seeing this graffiti somewhere in Spain, and obviously the artist was clever in that he actually had stencils, goes around with them, sprays them on the wall, and very quickly does a nice work of art that way. So I did this stencil. If you look at it, it's very simple. It's tracing paper with a drawing I did of the rock cut out. So basically, where there's a gap, the paint will go, and where there's no gap, it'll be protected. So this I use for the simple reason that it's a very effective way of putting my image down quickly. As you can see, I've just placed the stencil right over the painting or the strokes that we did last week. I mean, I don't think it's still it's a painting yet. So basically now I'm going to spray that with a light color, white, so I can get a very clear image that I can then use and draw on and do whatever on it. Okay, there's two basic things you need for this process. One, the acrylic spray paint, which you can buy in any hardware store. I prefer acrylic. It's quick drying and it's efficient. And also I recommend that if you're going to be doing a lot of spraying, obviously not in the street, but in a confined area like this, you buy one of these cheap protection masks. Okay, so I'm going to put this on, and this is a very simple process. Take the can, and now very quickly go over the painting with a spray. Okay, so I'm not concerned about detail, just transposing an image. So even if the paint is not flat on the painting, it will still project the image. And again, like I said before, this is very rough. I don't need an exact copy of the rock. This stencil I've now used for, I don't know, about 20 paintings. And it saved me a lot of time, believe you me. Okay, we're nearly ready now. Just go over a few areas. And this is going to bring me, that's ready now, to the subject of cheating. And it's a subject I feel very strongly about, cheating in art. I remember in school a lot of people used to you know, when I did a painting, whatever, the first thing is to say, oh, you haven't drawn that, or you've cheated, cheatero, cheateri, you've traced it, you've done. There is no such thing in art. No cheating. Anything you do, as long as the end result, what you end up with, it's yours, it's original, it's a powerful image, that's all that matters. How you came about it, especially nowadays with all the digital revolution, you can do anything. The end result has to be yours. And this actually brings me to another topic, music. I always talk about music, and for me, music and art are very closely related. I know there's loads of very good rock bands in Gib, but a lot of them do mainly covers. I would like to see, and this is a personal opinion, I'd like to see more local bands doing their own music, writing their own music. It's like painting. Be original, do your own stuff. Don't just limit yourself to copying or doing a photographic quality image. Try and do original work, something that maybe no one has ever done before, or get bits from loads of different paintings or ideas, put them together in one way that's yours. Okay? You've seen how simply, literally a couple of minutes, I now have an image on my originally abstract looking painting. This is quite interesting because there was nothing there, just brown. Now we already have something. We already have the foundations for a painting. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get an old-fashioned palette knife and start looking for clear areas, white areas, dark areas, and start getting a bit of texture. I might end up losing the original drawing or losing part of it, but I'm not concerned. Like I said before, this is a bit of a semi-abstract painting. I want to end up with something that's, okay, visibly a rock, but you can then see it as just a interesting combination of colors and textures and shapes and form, which is more an abstract painting. So it's like 2 in 1. Right, palette and a palette knife. Straightforward. And I'm just going to start applying paint freely on the areas that I feel are light. For instance, around there. And I want to keep that sort of rough effect, right? This is, again, nothing clean, nothing careful about this type of painting. I mean, none of my painting is like that. I don't have patience for it. I'm just looking at different, I mean, I'm trying to hold the photograph at the same time, so it's a bit awkward. I actually want to create a rough effect. So even scratching, that won't affect it. On the contrary, it'll give it a nice feel to it. Okay, there. Well, there's not really much more light areas. Okay, round about there. And you might think, oh, he's losing it, you can't see the drawing. Probably the drawing will get lost, will vanish, disappear, but at the end of the day, we'll end up with something which should be quite interesting. Okay, let's start mixing color now. Let's go to the original color I used last week, if I can open it. Yep. Just pour a bit of that there on my palette and see what color comes out. Obviously a light sort of sienna. It's burnt sienna. So now I'm going to look at the mid-tones. Again, very, very roughly. I mean, even if the color is like the marbled effect where you get a bit of white and a bit of the sienna, it will only add to the effect. It's all about, remember what we said last week, contemporary art and art in general should be about fun and enjoying yourself and not being too conscious of what you're doing. Okay, trying to look at the actual painting, or photograph rather. Okay. Whoops. See, I don't mind even if I get blobs from wherever. And like I said last week again, you know, you can always salvage whatever you've done. It can always be salvaged. Worst case scenario, you paint it in white, and that should be it. You start again. Just trying to get different effects, different textures. I like that sort of rough, scratchy effect, you know, in a way, looks a bit like the stone. Now, you see, now we're beginning to lose the drawing. As long as we can get it back, nothing's lost, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. So you've got to go all the way and see where it takes you.